Hi friends, so let us continue with the concepts. Now we have discussed in the previous video about aquatic ecosystems, and in that we have discussed standing bodies of water, ponds and lakes and their zones, right? Now so we have to discuss streams and rivers, but we get the same concept in the wetlands. So I started marine ecosystem basic in the previous videos, but you will miss the continuation. So what I will do is I will explain the moving bodies of water concept here itself, and then we will shift to marine ecosystems. Okay, and you will get in detail again in the wetlands also. Right, now let us discuss the second part in the aquatic ecosystems, freshwater ecosystems. I mean natural, fresh, right? Moving bodies of water. Moving bodies of water. Now already we have discussed about standing bodies of water, ponds and lakes. Now can you say me the moving bodies of water? Rivers and streams. Streams are the examples for moving bodies of water. Now what is the main characteristics of these moving bodies of water? Right, now these are bodies of flowing water moving in one direction. Right, these are bodies of flowing water moving in one direction, right? Now this is the basic point. Now these moving bodies of water are classified or separated into three zones, right? Because each river and stream will have a source point, starting point, and again they will combine with the oceans at some point. So based on this they are divided into three zones or separated into three zones, and we will discuss the nutrient content, dissolved oxygen content, biodiversity factors in this with respect to that zones. Okay, so that's why it will be very clear. Now this rivers and streams can be separated into three zones. Right, now what is the first zone? Source zone. Right, now the next one is transition zone. And the third zone is floodplain zone. Right, now normally see the river water or stream water, the point where they join with oceans, is called mouth. Right, right, again we will discuss different types of rivers in detail. Right, okay, don't worry about that. Now let us discuss the first zone, source zone. Now what is the main characteristics of this source zone? Now it contains headwater streams, and often begins as springs or snowmelt. Right, now this source zone contains headwater headwater streams, means source water streams, right? They often begins as snow melt or or springs. Right, now your Ganga, Brahmaputra, all the rivers, right, they often begins as snow melt or streams. Now what are the characteristics of water in this zone? Now the water is cold. Now the water is cold, clear, and carries little sediment, or they contains few nutrients. Right, now they carries little sediment, or you call it as little nutrients. Right, okay, little nutrients. Now normally this source zone is narrow. Normally this source zone is narrow. Right, now the water flow is swift. Water flow is swift. Right, and the substrate is rocky. The substrate means the platform is rocky. Now what you can decide? Right, as there are little nutrients, there will be less biodiversity. Right, the source zone is less diversified. Done. Okay, now these are the points regarding source zone. Now, let us go into the next zone called transition zone. Transition zone. Now what is transition zone? Now these zones contain wider and lower elevation streams. Now the streams here join to form tributaries, your secondary rivers, likewise your Krishna, Godavari. Right, now see here, I'll summarize the points here. This zone contains wider and lower elevation streams. Now observe here, your source zone will be narrower, your transition zone will be wider. Right, now these streams in the transition zone, join to form tributaries, your Penna, Krishna tributaries. Right, now what are the characteristics of water in this zone? Water is relatively warmer, less clear, okay, and carries more sediment, or you can speak it as more nutrients, more nutrients. Done. Now already we have discussed this. Channels are wider in this zone, right? And the current flow of water is lower. This also we discussed. And see here, it has more nutrients, so automatically there will be high biodiversity. There will be high biodiversity, right? Wide varied species can be observed in this transition zone. Now, let us come to the next zone called floodplain zone. Floodplain zone. Now what is the main point regarding this floodplain zone? Rivers get fragmented to form distributaries, not tributaries, distributaries. In transition zone, tributaries are formed. In floodplain zone, distributaries form, which empty into oceans at estuaries. Right now, the, the river in this floodplain zone gets fragmented, right, to form distributaries, to form distributaries, right. Now which empty into oceans, which empty into oceans at estuaries, at estuaries. Now already in the previous slide we have discussed the zone where the river water combines with ocean is called as mouth, and this mouth is called estuary, right? The place where river water and ocean water mix together, that is called estuary, right? Now what are the characteristics of this zone? Water is warmer, murky, right, and contains highest nutrients, or sometimes you'll call it as sediments, highest nutrients, right. Now these channels are wider than transition zones, right. Now and river flow is relatively slow, right, and already we have discussed this. These are with high nutrients, so automatically biodiversity will be good, right. Now these are the zones of rivers and streams. Now you will get the same concept in wetlands also. Now there you can have easy explanation, and also you can gel with that topic very easily, right. Now let us see the next topic, marine ecosystems. Marine ecosystems. marine ecosystems. Now we have discussed the aquatic ecosystems. Now the freshwater ecosystems. Now we will discuss about marine water ecosystems. Now, as already we have discussed, I will summarize the things, the basics. The different divisions of marine ecosystems are oceanic, and the next one is deep water, the next one is estuaries, the next one is coral reefs, and the next one is salt marshes. Now in this we will discuss in detail regarding this coral reefs, because these coral reefs are very important for your environmental conservation. So the remaining things we will discuss, but we will discuss in detail regarding coral reefs, right? You will get one question regarding this coral reefs in your examination. Yes. Now marine ecosystems can be further divided into two types based on their environment, right? Based on their environment. Based on their environment. Now what is the first one? Pelagic environment, and the next one is benthic environment. Benthic environment. Right. Now what do you mean by pelagic? Pelagic is nothing but upper layers. Already you have discussed this in ponds and lakes, right? Upper layers. Now what do you mean by benthic? Now benthic zone in lakes and ponds, right? Bottom layers, right? Bottom layers, right? And again observe this pelagic environment is again divided into two types. First one is neritic province. Neritic province, and the next one is oceanic province. Oceanic province. Right. Now again we will discuss this in detail regarding this, right? Now what is neritic province and what are the characteristics of this, right? In pelagic environment we said that again they are divided into two types. Neritic province, right? Now what is neritic province and what are the characteristics of this, right? Now neritic province includes the water above the continental shelf. Maximum biodiversity is found in neritic zone only, right? Now neritic province refers to the water above continental shelf. Continental shelf. Right. Now maximum biodiversity is found in Neretic province. Maximum biodiversity is found in Neretic province, right? And the waters are shallow, right? You can speak it as shallow. Neretic means shallow, right? And the next one in second one in pelagic is oceanic province or oceanic zone. Now, what is oceanic zone? It includes all the open waters. It includes all the open waters beyond continental shelf. Beyond continental shelf. Right? Now, let us discuss in detail regarding this Neretic and province. Neretic province and oceanic province. Sorry. Now, the high nutrient levels of Neretic province resulting from dissolved materials in riverine runoff distinguish this province from the oceanic province, right? The upper part of both Neretic and oceanic waters, right? Upper province of, now observe here, upper province of, I'll write this, Neretic and oceanic. Now, which is called epipelagic zone. Now, the upper province of Neretic and oceanic province is called epipelagic zone. Epipelagic zone. Upper province of Neretic and oceanic province is called epipelagic zone, right? Now, in this zone photosynthesis occurs. Photosynthesis occurs. Done. Now, why maximum biodiversity occurs in Neretic zone? Because there will be high nutrient levels. Now, where this nutrient materials come, right? Now, the nutrient materials come from in Neretic zone. In Neretic zone, nutrient materials come from riverine runoff, right? Riverine runoff. So that's why Neretic province is maximum diversity, because you can have more nutrient materials, right? More nutrient materials come from riverine runoff, right? Now, again, now observe here, these pelagic environment is again divided into different zones. Already we have discussed the first one, which is nothing but epipelagic zone. Epipelagic zone. Right? Already, what is this? Upper portions of Neretic and oceanic zones is called epipelagic zone. Now, below this epipelagic zone lies mesopelagic zone. Mesopelagic zone. Right. Now, this mesopelagic zone ranges between 200 to 1000 meters depth. Ranges between 200 to 1000 meters depth. And below this mesopelagic zone occurs bathypelagic zone. Bathypelagic zone. Right. Now, this bathypelagic zone will be from 1000 to 4000 meters depth. Right. And below this bathypelagic zone consists of abyssopelagic zone. Abyssopelagic zone. Now, this abyssopelagic zone is the deepest parts of the oceans, now which ranges from 4000 meters to, right, so deep sea trenches up to the bottommost part, deep sea trenches. Right. Abyssopelagic zone is the deepest parts of the ocean. Deepest parts of the ocean. Right. Now, again, these oceanic provinces, I mean the complete marine ecosystems, are divided into different zones based on the light penetration. Right. The first point what you speak is the area of inky darkness that occupies the great bulk of ocean is called aphotic zone. Right. Now, see here, area of inky darkness which occupies great bulk of ocean is called aphotic zone. Aphotic zone means where the light cannot be penetrated. Aphotic zone, and the term itself says. Now, let us go to the next zone. Now, before this aphotic zone, now there is a zone called photic zone. Now, what do you mean by photic zone? Exactly opposite to aphotic zone. Aphotic zone is inky darkness, but your photic zone will be illuminated region. Illuminated region of the ocean. Right. And again, this photic zone is divided into three zones called euphotic zone, the next one is dysphotic zone. dysphotic zone. Now these are divided based on the light penetration, right? Light penetration. Now let us discuss about the euphotic zone. Now what is euphotic zone? The euphotic zone is the layer closer to the surface that receives enough light, right? Now euphotic zone is close to surface and it receives enough sunlight right. Now so if sunlight is there, automatically photosynthesis occur. Right. Now beneath this is the dysphotic zone. Already we have this. The illumination is poor, light is poor. Term itself says, right, light is poor. Now so the rate of respiration exceeds photosynthesis, right? Automatically your photosynthesis will be less. Photosynthesis will be less due to light is poor. Done. Let us continue the next concepts in the next video. Thank you.